Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Ace Combat reaction. Today we have Soul Squadron, and I do have Our Change, which apparently is the song that's like tied to this one that I will be getting to, but Soul Squadron comes first according to Spinrift, who put this into the executive producer queue, so this is the one I'm going to be listening to first. The only other info I have on these is that this is apparently the theme of a reoccurring boss fight in the game, so with that in mind, I don't have much else to go on, and I guess without further ado, let's go! We're starting right off with the Latin today. Don't know if my brain is active enough for that. Beautiful uplift there on the final note, though. I mean, most Ace Combat songs tend to be uplifting. It's kind of part of their whole thing, right? Okay, we got that 4 on the floor pumping. And my blood is starting to pump too. Ooh. I love that. Using that note change. I think he's done that before. I think the composers used that approach on the guitar a few times, maybe. It's never a bad one. They are really laying into the build-up on this one. The suspense is killing me. I have to know what's gonna happen. Ooh. Lots of those cinematic hits. Still building. More layers coming in. I love it when they do this. Ooh. Oh. I love that transition. That brass section too. I think that was a baritone. I didn't even know they went that high. Great dynamic shut off there, like a light switch. The subtlety of this. And those big, like, hits in there, too. The, like, bass, basically. I'm pretty sure that's, like, a concert bass drum. That almost sounded like bombs going off, like, straight-up explosions. That was sick. They even distorted them like that. That was probably on purpose. I just love that as an approach. I love it when they use instruments as like weaponry in games like this that have that backbone to them. It's like, sweet, use the music to signify something in the actual world. That's so cool every time. So after hearing this, it kind of kills me that I have to split these up into 2 videos, because I know that this song is definitely like the preamble to everything to come. Like, I know that this is mostly just build-up. It is largely all of the tension, basically, that they're trying to get you under. And there was a release to that, but not enough of one. I feel like Archange is going to be much more explosive and much more intense. Like, this entire song is basically the first half, and the first half is all build up before you really get to that explosive moment in the center, which will probably be not too far into the second song. So now I'm really excited to hear what that one's like, because I loved this. Again, some neat things going on there, especially at the end. Loved that approach with the bass drum. I'm not too positive that it was the intention to make it sound like bombs, but it totally makes sense, and it would be a very creative thing to do that. But I don't know what the goal of the composer is here. It just would make sense to me. But there are other things in here, like that brass section, for real. The shining star in this, it tends to be the shining star, either them or the strings in most of these heavy cinematic orchestral sorts of soundtracks. And the brass definitely is the winner this time. The strings were definitely doing great. They were just playing more of a supportive role this time compared to the brass, which seemed to have all of the beef on there. And again, I'm not even sure if that was a baritone, because that got really high up there, but I'm also not a baritone player. I just didn't know they could get that high if it is one. But it sounded like kind of an amalgamation of a few different brass instruments, so maybe the tubas were in there as well as the baritones, maybe even some trombone in there, maybe a bass trombone even, something with a little bit more beef to it, a little bit more low end, but also still has all of that range to go to. I don't really know fully the sound difference between all of those, especially when they're all in an ensemble. It can be pretty difficult to like pick them out unless you're an avid player yourself and you know exactly which tones belong to which instruments. For me, brass is awesome. I love it, but aside from like the note ranges between each instrument, I can't really tell which is which behind the scenes, other than like a tuba and a trumpet obviously sound way different. There might have even been French horn in there. Maybe that's what I was hearing, but my point still stands. Really great brass section on this one, really focusing in on that low end, getting all that support and resonance in there, keeping all that tension in there while also giving you a little bit of release, but again, not at all the full release. We are still building up by the end of this song. Even though it sounded like it was starting to dwindle out a little bit and some of the energy was fading, that's not necessarily the case. It was still there, and they were just kind of fading out because there's still more to come. So this is really getting me excited to hear more of what could be. And I know there is so much more to get to. But man, it's so nice to be back to Ace Combat stuff for a second. I know that Spin Riff always has a song or two to throw at me, and I'm glad that he's come back with a few more. I've kind of limited some more recent requests just because I've gotten so many more people requesting stuff in general. It's harder to get to more of these as often, so I try to ask people to back off a little bit. But there are some games and some general properties that I just want to get to, and I keep having to go, oh, I can't do that one today, I've got to do this other one. I have to make it even amongst the people listening. But I love Ace Combat's music, and I want to hear more. Keiki Kobayashi on this one, as well as like Jose Pavlia on Project Wingman, just like their scale to their cinematic vibes, it's just something I love and I keep wanting to revisit, but there's other things I've got to get to as well, so I have to balance it somewhere. But I'm so glad that we're here, and I'm going to get to hear what Archange has next. But I suppose I have talked about this one enough, so I'm going to call it here. I know we've got a whole other half to listen to. I promise I'll be getting to that probably within the next week even, so keep an eye out for that video when it's out. But in the meantime, if you want to guarantee a request out of me, you can go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships. There's a tier that will guarantee me listening to whatever you want me to listen to. I don't care how good it is, how bad it is, or what it's from. Just send it at me. It's part of a guaranteed request. I have to do a video on it, and I will. But otherwise, if you just want to follow me and support me for other stuff I get into the future, like when I get to Archange, then you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!